Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ashlyn Abney, and I'm the Education Division Director here at the Office of Early Childhood. And I want to welcome you to our April provider call. We've got a mighty but short, maybe, agenda for today. And so I do want to remind you that any question that you have needs to be dropped into the Q&A box, not the chat. We will not be able to respond to anything that's placed in the chat, but we can respond to anything that is dropped into the Q&A. So if you've got any questions as we're talking along, drop them in the Q&A and the team will address them as quickly as they can. All right, so the first thing that I would like to talk to you all about today is our market rate survey. So, this is something that many of you will have remembered from years previous, and it is where we take a look at the cost of childcare around our state. And so, we have a big request of you all that are providers who have joined us today. We need you by May the 15th to go into your ELS portal and update your rates. That will help us a lot when that information is pulled out to have an accurate look at what you all are charging for your rates across the state. So if you can get that done for us, that would be great. The deadline is May the 15th. You should have already received this email via your ELS email address, whatever you put into your portal. That's the email address that this particular letter that you're seeing here on your screen would have gone to. So please look at that. If you did not receive this email, it might be a good time for you to update your ELS portal with an accurate email that you want information to be sent to whenever we have something to send out in a mass email. So again, this is the market rate survey. We use this information to compile what the cost of care is in the state of Arkansas. So please go in by May the 15th and update your rates. We appreciate that help. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk to you about is something that is called the ADE Summit. Many of you might know about this because it has been going on for a couple of years, maybe a little bit more than that. But this is a great opportunity for everyone, even us in the early childhood side of education, to attend. And it happens each summer, and there are just all kinds of professional development sessions that you can go to, and it covers the bulk of education. So there will be classes about early childhood, there will be classes about kindergarten, which I know many of you are interested when we talk about kindergarten readiness, so you might want to attend those. So it's just a super cool opportunity together with like-minded people, other providers, to attend some trainings and learn more about education in general, but also about early childhood education. The dates for this year are July 14th through the 16th. If you will snap the QR code there on the screen that you see, it will take you to a little more information. They haven't fully updated that page just yet, but if you want to flag that page, that will be where you can find more information once they get it uploaded, and you can look more specifically at the courses that are available. So just to save the date for July 14th through 16th down in Hot Springs to learn more about early childhood education and the K-12 world. Okay, the next thing that I want to visit with you all about is training. So when I'm talking about training in this instance, I'm talking about the PD, or the professional development, that the Office of Early Childhood provides. And we do this, as you all know, or many of you know, through grantees or contracts. And so we really want to make sure that we are providing training opportunities that is something that you all want to attend. And so, in addition to what's required because of our CCDF or because of licensing, we want to offer other things too that would be helpful to you in your daily walk as a provider. So, if you would please give us that information, that would be great. You can do that through the QR code. And it's just a simple question asking you all, what is it that you would like to see? What is it that you would need? What would help you to do your work a little easier? So many of you have filled out the information on a PDR survey that we sent out most recently. And so if you've already done it on the PDR survey, don't feel obligated to do it again here. But if you did not get an opportunity to do that, we would love to hear from you. We have heard from you all about, getting more feedback from you and asking you questions. So we heard you. And I think that that is super important. And we've really been trying to up our game to get that feedback from you all. And so this is one of those opportunities for us to get a little more information from you. Okay, I am going to pass it then to Alicia, who's going to talk to us about curriculum updates. So, Alicia?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Ashlyn. I just wanted to come and just give you a quick update on where we are with the approved curriculum list. I know the last time we talked on the last provider call, we shared information about an upcoming chance to submit curriculum. If you had a curriculum that you were using that was not on the approved list or that you were interested in using, and so that submission period is now closed, and our team will begin to continue vetting the curriculum that has been submitted. And so, what we wanted to kind of let you know is that we've put the QR code there to the curriculum page on the DESE website. That QR code will take you to, you'll see a link there that tells you the approved curriculum list. That's going to be updated on an ongoing basis. So our hope is that you would be able to check in if you have a curriculum that you've submitted, or if your agency facility site is still trying to determine what you want to go to and what you want to use. We would love for you to bookmark that page and check that often. One thing that our curriculum team is in the process of doing right now is working on guidance documents to answer any questions or to give you as much feedback as we can about the curriculum that is on the approved curriculum list. So that's another thing that we'd love for you to bookmark that tab to go back and see the new guidance documents that will be forthcoming. One thing that I do want you to remember is we've talked about this several times, and there is more information on that page, but OEC is definitely reviewing low or no cost curriculum options, and we're going to be working on finding those and providing additional information about curriculum options that meet those criteria there. And then one thing to remember, programs do not have to implement the new curriculum in the upcoming 26-27 school year. It will be in the 27-28 school year that all providers receiving public funds will pick from the approved curriculum list, and that will be a full implementation year, and it will be we'll be asking you to put that information into the ELS portal. So we would love to answer any questions that you have about that. That is all I have today. I'm going to pass this to Jennifer Douglas, and she will introduce our next guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. It's my honor today to introduce Mary Catherine Harden. She's the owner director of Stars Academy in Batesville, Arkansas, and she is a champion for children. And she's going to share with us a little bit about how she uses the class tool in her EIDT center. So, Mary Catherine?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer. I have had the opportunity to utilize class at STARS from the very beginning. Our local lead was one of the first ones to go through the class training. And as part of that, our captain had a few of us go through the training and become observers, and then also become trainers within our area. And so I was in the very first cohort of people to go through the class observation training for pre-K. We did that, and then eventually did the infant and toddler trainings. We have utilized that in our EIDT just like it's written. We have not made any type of adjustments to it at all. The one thing we may do is with some of our classrooms that are kind of on that borderline developmentally between the infant toddler and the pre-K, we will decide then which one of those that we'll use as an observation. But in our experience, we utilize it exactly like it's meant to be, because class really is about what the teachers are doing, and not necessarily what the kids are doing. And so in all of the EIDT rooms, we have curriculum, we have all of the things, we have the interactions, we have all of the domains. We should be seeing all of those things, whether that's an EIDT program, an ABC program, a church faith-based program, or a public school program. It's all the same. And in our cohort, we're very fortunate in that all of our local providers, we meet and we get along really well. We share a lot of things. And so recently, Novella, who is our local league captain, we also share. So a few of our facilities do not have an observer, a class trained observer. And one of those is our another very good EIDT facility in our area. So one of my directors went and did some observations at her EIDT facility last week, I believe. Same thing, just like she would do here, just like we would do anywhere. So I think for any EIDT provider that is leery or unsure of whether they could utilize it as it is written, as it's meant to be, without any type of extra supports or differences, I would wholeheartedly say yes. Be more than willing to talk to you about it. Come to your center, help you with it, whatever I can do to help. But this is a wonderful tool, and at STARS, we have seen it be super helpful. It's very intentional. We also had the opportunity to do the LENA program, which is very much a strength-based coaching program with your teachers. And this is exactly how class works for us too. We use it as a strengths-based coaching system for our classrooms and our teachers. And I think it's been most helpful, and I would encourage anybody out there to utilize it.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. I really appreciate that. So we will, in the FAQ, if it's okay with you, Mary Catherine, I will put your email. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, they'll have your contact information if you have further questions. And you can also always reach out to your local lead, and they will do their best to connect you with people and or answer your questions about class. So
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Absolutely. Share my email, please.
Okay, thanks, Mary Catherine.
Mhm.
Next on our agenda is Melissa McClendon. She is the Early Childhood Special Education Director, and she's going to share some information with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Jennifer. I'd first like to say thank you to Miss Abney and her team for allowing me to speak with you today about an exciting opportunity that we have launched this week to support early childhood programs, teachers, and our preschool students across the state. Before I speak about the actual reveal, I'd like to share our team's vision, which is focused on two essential components of high quality preschool programming. The first is focused on the students, to ensure that every child has access to developmentally appropriate learning experiences, especially for our students with disabilities, and the importance of them learning alongside their non-disabled peers. And the second focus is on teachers, to ensure that the educators are continuously developing their practice. That is our goal, so that effective instructional strategies and meaningful access are implemented consistently in each program's classrooms. So with these in mind, we've designed the BASIC project, which stands for Building Access for Students in Classrooms. And we built it around these essential components, which are necessary to develop and implement those key practices that should be in each and every classroom. And then also to support leadership teams to implement and to use those practice-based coaching strategies. And then also, we would like to focus on coaching cycles that are based on each program's data. For example, we can help support you when analyzing your class observation data, which we just heard from Mary Catherine. That's something that she really looks into, and knowing which practices will increase outcomes for both the children and the staff. So perhaps you're anticipating having new staff next year. Perhaps you're having leadership changes, or you notice a rise in challenging behaviors. So we're very interested in partnering with you as we learn together what is best for your program. We will also work side by side as you discover and make program decisions based on the activities and the professional learning that we would guide you through. As you can see here on the screen, the flyer describes the BASIC project that was sent out to all early childhood special education coordinators, the LEA supervisors, and then the Office of Early Childhood Personnel this past Monday by Beverly Leonard. So I'm hoping that you did receive that email. The flyer and the application are also posted on the DESE Early Childhood Special Education website. So on that flyer, you are able to see many details about the monthly support that we're able to provide and the upcoming informational webinar, which we will host on April the 24th. So anyone who is interested may join us on that webinar to gain a deeper understanding of the project. Applications are now open and are due on May the 21st. We hope that you consider this opportunity that would truly benefit your students and staff. So please feel free to reach out to myself or my colleagues listed on that flyer if we can assist you in any way. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. We have a few questions in the Q&A that I'll read out to you to see if maybe we can get you to help us answer some of these.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
somebody was asking if BASIC is going to be a part of Tippy Toes or Teapot. Is that the same thing or different?
Tippy Pot, there is a pyramid model foundation in the BASIC project, and Teapot is one of the assessments that can still be used and that we would use in finding those decisions that need to be made based on your data to identify what key practices would be best for you, for your teachers in your program.
Gotcha. And so Kelsey asked, is BASIC kind of taking over the pyramid program implementation? And if so, if they are a part of that, if they were a part of Pyramid Pilot, would they need to look into BASIC or maybe not?
If you were part of the Pyramid Pilot, it is essentially the same premise as far as focusing on those key practices. We are including a lot more focus on the practice-based coaching and using that framework to really implement key practices consistently in the classroom. And so you've probably been exposed to quite a bit of the modules and different activities that we would also walk you through, but there are going to be new and current changes and additional activities.
Gotcha. Sharonda asked, as a licensed childcare program, they have 2 or 3 students who have disabilities. Would they qualify for the BASIC program?
Certainly, that is the field that we're working in, early childhood special education for ages 3 to 5. And so we would love to work with your program or center and really focus in on those challenging behaviors that you may be, experiencing in your center.
Fantastic. Okay, and so that was the end of the questions that I see. But if anybody did have a question, their best bet would just be able to reach out to you or use the QR code to find out more information. Is that the best way?
Yes, ma'am. That QR code would take you to contacts. My colleagues are Fabiola Ambergi, if some of you are familiar with her, and then Naven Wyatt, or you could call the Office of Special Education and they will directly contact me through the telephone system here.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you again, Melissa, for reaching out to us. We are glad to see and happy to see what happens with the basic projects. So it'll be fun to know. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, y'all. So here is the QR code anytime that you have questions. So the way that we compile our agenda and figure out what we want to talk about at the provider call is through the questions that we receive from you all as providers. So if you click on this QR code, it'll take you to a form that has a whole bunch of topics that are listed. I got a call once that said, can I only talk about these topic lists? No. Like if you think of something else that you all would like to know about or you would like to know about, just put it in the questions. There's like a series of 3 different questions that you can add information in. We will always appreciate any feedback that you have regarding topics that you want to discuss. So if you we'll just, like I said, take a little snapshot of that and enter any questions that you have. That would be really good and really helpful. So the team has been answering some questions in the Q&A for us, and I've been trying to pay attention to that as well as talk to our presenters. I am seeing the question asked many times, maybe different ways, about SRA funding. Right now, y'all, we have no more updated information on our CCDF funding, and so everything is remaining the same. The SRA rates and quality payments that we are paying right now will remain the same. As we start taking other steps, like with the market rate survey, and gathering up more information, also talking with our federal partners, we will absolutely keep you all informed if there looks like there's going to be any kind of change on our SRA side. The same thing is true about ABC. Because I've seen some questions about ABC funding, that kind of thing. The minute that we get any updates on that, we will absolutely share that out with you all. We are in the process right now of reviewing our ABC funding and looking at the summer. So I've seen quite a few questions about summer programming for ABC. We will get you that information quick. We understand that you all need to be making plans for that. So do the parents and the children need to be making plans. So we'll get that out to you just as quickly as we can. All right. So as always, remember that you can reach out to your licensing specialist if you have any questions about the enterprise licensing system. I saw some feedback about the acronyms. That's ELS for our providers. It's where they go in and enter their information into their portal. So if you are a licensed provider, you should have an enterprise licensing system or ELS portal that you can enter information in. You can always reach out to your licensing specialist, and you can always reach out to Kelly Hilburn if you need any help with that. If you have questions about SRA, which is the School Readiness Assistance Program, or many of you all might have heard the term the voucher assistance, those 2 things are the same thing. If you have questions about that, you can reach out to your case managers that are working on that, or you can reach out to Brandy Ishman. She's our leader for that team. If you have any questions about curriculum or HQIM, that's high quality instructional materials, then you can reach out to Alicia Atwood, and she and her team will be glad to answer anything like that. If you have questions about local leads, those are the groups of people that are around our state that have catchment areas, that's also counties or catchment areas that they are overseeing. Jennifer Douglas is our person that handles local leads for that. As always, too, the recording for the provider calls are always listed on our website. And you can go there and listen to past provider calls. Today's usually takes us a couple of days, you all, by the time we get the recording done and the FAQs or frequently asked questions. We respond to those in a document that we attach to the recording. So you'll be able to find that within a couple of days. All right. Our next provider call is scheduled for May the 5th at 12 o'clock. We did also see, I think, kind of fly by real fast, some information about being able to see the slides. So I will talk to our people that do our webinar for us, and we will see what that might look like. But anything along that line that would make the provider call more accessible or good for you, please let us know that feedback. The provider call is for y'all. So we want to make sure that we are doing anything and everything that we can make it the best for you as you're watching it or hearing it on your end. Okay, y'all. I hope that you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your month. Again, as soon as we have any information to share, particularly around our funding, we will let you all know that. Anything that we have to do for curriculum, locally, anything like that at all, we will share with you just as soon as we get that information as well. Okay, I will see you all next month. Bye-bye.